Hello, grade 11. Good morning. Our subject for this semester is all about Earth and Life Science. But for your first quarter, we will be discussing all about Earth Science. So, for your Module 1, you must receive Module Earth and Life Science, Quarter 1, Module 1, Earth as a unique planet, 4 subsystems of the Earth, properties of rock-forming minerals. So I will be your class subject teacher for this semester in science. I am Mrs. Prince Mosca Caleja, SHS Teacher 2. This will be the rules that you're going to follow while having the class. Okay? So, let's have our learning competencies. Our learning competencies, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to attain all these competencies. Recognize the uniqueness of the Earth being the only planet in the solar system with properties necessary to support life. Second, explain that Earth consists of 4 subsystems across whose boundaries matter and energy flow. And lastly, identify common rock-forming minerals using their chemical properties. For lesson 1, let's have Earth as a unique planet. Earth. When we say Earth, Earth is planet. Okay, definitely. The shape of the planet Earth is oblate spheroid. And it is 4.5 billion years old, and it is the only planet that can support. I have here a question to all of you, my dear grade 11 students. Why Earth considered unique compared to other planets? I want you to comment your own ideas or your own answers in the comment box, and later on I will be checking that one. Okay? So you comment it in the comment box. So this is the answer. Earth is the only planet that is capable of sustaining life. And it is also called the Goldilocks zone. When we say Goldilocks zone, it is the only planet that is not too cold or too hot because of its distance from the sun. Okay? Kumbaga, sakto lang siya, wherein it can support life. So that is what we call Goldilocks zone. So, in your module, you have the what's new. I want you to answer this one on your notebook. Do not pass this one and together with your modules, okay? You just answer this on your notebook. So for activity 1, word vocabulary, the following are important terms which are related to the lesson. Use as many references as you can to define each of these terms. Be sure to put in the context of the lesson. So you write your answers, the definition of these words on your notebook. This will only serve as your guide all throughout the module, okay? Aside from the uniqueness of the Earth also has characteristics. Number 1 is Earth's location. Earth is the third planet solar system. As you can see in the illustration, we consider Earth as the third planet. And in our solar system, we have there how many planets? You comment your answer in the comment box, okay? So, we have 10 planets. So, the 9th planet here is the planet X, and the 10th planet is the Persephone. This is the solar system. The distance of the Earth from the Sun is enough to support life. As we learned in our previous science lessons, the producers or organisms that manufacture their own food utilize energy from the sun and convert it into chemical energy that marks the beginning of food chains and complex food webs. In here, we have here the chemical equation called photosynthesis, which utilizes solar energy coming from the sun, converting it into food that will be made available to life forms. The distance between Earth and Sun is strategic enough to put this essential equation to work. So that is all about the location. So third planet from the Sun. Sunod is we have your Earth's atmosphere. The atmosphere is gaseous layer that envelopes the Earth. It regulates planet surface temperature. Most of the element that makes up the atmosphere is nitrogen. It is all about 78%. If we compare the Earth to an apple, the atmosphere is relatively the size of its peel. Manipis lang siya. However, due to its cooling mechanisms, it protects the living things to be directly affected with harmful radiation. So the ozone layer equation is O3. Okay, that is ozone. Earth's magnetic field. Our planet is a big ball of magnet. Its geographic north serves as its magnetic south, and its geographic south serves as its magnetic north. The region around Earth that is dominated by magnetic field is called magnetosphere, which extends to about 65,000 kilometers in space. So that is all about Earth's field. Next is the presence of water. In our planet, we have 3/4 of Earth's surface are covered with water. For all we know, life as we know it is impossible without a biologically essential compound called water in a planet, because without this one, there will be no life. On Earth, water exists as gas-forming clouds, as liquid in the form of oceans and lakes, and as solid in the form of ice caps. So you're going to answer this one in a separate sheet of paper to be passed on Monday. Okay? So what's more, we have here activity 2 essay. Answer the following questions focusing on the content of our lesson. Write your answer in a paragraph form with 5 to 6 statements per paragraph. And for what I have learned, writing an essay, what I can do, think beyond the pages. For this think beyond the pages, you're going to create an infographics, and you're going to upload your output through our messenger. But I will be giving you a deadline of this one next Friday. So that is October 16. Just base your output on the rubrics provided on your module. Okay? Next, this is the rubrics. This will be your guide in making your infographics. You have the presentation, creativity and originality, accuracy and relevance, and required element. Next, for lesson 2, we have the Earth subsystems. In the Earth, we have 4 subsystems that interact with each other. So the first one is the geosphere. Under geosphere, we have here your crust, mantle, and in the core, we have inner and outer core, mantle, lower and upper mantle, crust, continental, and oceanic. Let us start with the crust. We have here your continental and oceanic crust. Okay, we have here your continental and oceanic crust. So, for the oceanic crust, the color is dark colored. For the continental crust, the color is light colored. In oceanic crust, dark color in the sense that it is submerged in water. While for continental, light because it was directly lighted by the sun. Kumbaga, naiinitan siya kaya light colored siya. So, the rock sample that you can see in the oceanic crust is basalt, while for continental crust, we have here granite. Oceanic crust, more dense. Continental crust, less dense. Again, it is more dense because, okay, it is submerged in water. So, oceanic crust, thin layer siya. Continental crust, thick layer. So, 50 kilometer, 40 to 7 kilometers. So, that is all about oceanic. Okay? Oceanic, ayun siya sa water. And continental, eto siya. So, next is the mantle. In mantle, we have lower and upper mantle. Sa lower mantle, you can see here the asthenosphere, the soft magma, convection currents. Upper mantle, we have your lithosphere, solid rigid, and the moho bounded. So that is all about the mantle. Ayan siya. Aside from that one, in the mantle, lower mantle and upper mantle, we have here, this red line here is your asthenosphere. This asthenosphere behaves elastic or it is flexible. It allows or it controls the flow of magma that goes out in a volcano. That's why asthenosphere is very important part of the geosphere. Kasi without the asthenosphere, what will happen to our planet? Definitely, it will be burst, bumtak. Why? Because hindi lang dun sa butas ng volcano lang yung magma without the asthenosphere. Kumbaga, kung wala si asthenosphere, kahit saang parte ng land, lalabas na si magma. Okay? For the core, we have here Inge Lehmann. He is a seismologist discovered in 1936 that Earth has a solid core and it is consists of iron, nickel alloy, and it is magnetic. So we have here the inner core and outer core. Both of the cores has the presence of iron and nickel. Both of them are magnetic, but for the inner core, it is solid. For the outer core, it is liquid. So for the outer core, it is cause of Earth's magnetic field. For the latest information, they were able to classify the different names for mantle, core, and crust. Wherein, sa crust, they call it as lithosphere. Upper and lower mantle, or for the mantle, we have here the mesosphere. And outer core and inner core, it is called as the barysphere. Aside from that, we also have different discontinuities that separate the different layers into each other. For the continental crust and oceanic crust, we have here the Conrad discontinuity. It separates the continental and oceanic crust. Conrad in honor to the person who discovered that one, who is Victor Conrad. Sunod, we have Moho discontinuity, a boundary that separates the crust and the mantle. It was discovered by Adriha Moho Robisic. Okay? Sunod, we have here your upper mantle and lower mantle. We have here a boundary again. It is called as repeti discontinuity, a boundary that separates upper and lower mantle. Next is a boundary that separates lower mantle to the core. We call that one as Gothenburg discontinuity. It was discovered by Benno Gothenburg. Last boundary is a boundary that separates the outer core and the inner core. We call that one as Lehmann discontinuity. Okay? It was discovered by Inge Lehmann. So again, the parts of the geosphere, we have lithosphere, mesosphere, and biosphere. So that is all about the geosphere. So now is for the hydrosphere. The hydrosphere is composed of all waters on Earth, such as liquid water found in oceans, lakes, and streams, polar ice, which is solid in form, and water vapor that results from evaporation of liquid water. So as you can see on the illustration, our hydrosphere is divided into percentages, wherein fresh water is only 2.5%, other saline water 0.9%, and oceans are 96.5%. So yan siya, total global water. And see, from this fresh water, 2.5%, it is again divided into different percentages. So we have surface and other fresh water, it is 1.2%, groundwater 30.1%, and glaciers and ice caps 68.7%. And the available fresh water that we are going to drink is only 1.2%, wherein it is again divided into different percentages. So we have atmosphere 3.0%, living things 0.26%, rivers 0.49%, swamps, marshes 2.6%, soil moisture 3.8%, and ground ice permafrost is 69.0%. So that is the percentages or breakdown of percentages of our water. So ayan siya. Fresh water 2.5, ocean 96.5, and other 0.9. Total global. Aside from that, in the hydrosphere part, water circulates everywhere. So I have here an illustration of the hydrological cycle or the water cycle. Okay? So yan siya. Next is for the atmosphere. Back then, the atmosphere is a gaseous part of the Earth composed of several traces of gases to support the existence of life, such as plants and animals. The atmosphere is divided into layers according to differences in the pattern of temperature as one goes to higher altitude. But let's go first to the breakdown of the percentages of different elements present in the atmosphere. Back then, as you can see, in our when there is no living thing present in the planet, the greatest percentage is carbon dioxide. We also have here argon, nitrogen, and hydrogen. So this is the different components present when there is no living thing present in our planet back then in the beginning. But now, we have 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% other gases. This is the present atmosphere today. So, the atmosphere, again, is divided into different layers according to differences in pattern of temperature as one goes to higher altitude. So, we have here troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and thermosphere. Though the atmosphere may be very thin layer of the Earth when compared to the Earth's interior, it plays a vital role in maintaining the planet's temperature. It acts as thermostat. Ozone molecules in the stratosphere absorbs high energy of radiation by means of photodissociation. Weather occurs in the troposphere. And in the troposphere, you can see the mountains, commercial jet, and clouds. Atmosphere plays a role in weathering of rocks, making the Earth dynamic. The sun evenly heats the air, which leads to the movement of air molecules. Cold air sinks at bottom of the atmosphere, where most of life forms are found. This is due to high density. Hot air, on the other hand, rises up due to its low density. So you can see hot weather balloon or hot air balloon on the stratosphere. So under the mesosphere naman, you can see there the meteors. So each of the layers of the atmosphere also have their different boundaries. So a boundary between stratosphere and troposphere, we call that one as tropopause. Between mesosphere and stratosphere, we call that as stratopause. And between thermosphere and mesosphere, it is mesopause. Okay? Next, biosphere. Biosphere makes up all the living components of the... So we have here different theories of biosphere. So, we have here theory of primordial soup. Life begins from non-living matter such as simple organic compounds. The simple organic compounds here are, we have the ammonia, nitrogen, oxygen, and water. So, these four simple organic compounds combined together to form life. Wherein this theory of primordial soup were connected into a belief or myth na pinaniniwalaan natin nung mga bata tayo, wherein paano nagkaroon ng ita, puti, at kayumanggi. So, if you still remember that one, comment that one on the chat box. Okay, I will going to browse your comments later on after the lessons. Okay, after you watch this presentation. So, I'm going to check your comment. Next is deep sea vent theory. Life began not on the surface of the earth. Saan ba nagmula? Definitely, ang sabi niya, deep sea, in the water. Back then, there is a bacteria that were able to form life. So, yan siya, okay? Wherein that life form daw, when it reaches the land form, it evolves into a land animals. And if those bacteria present in the water, it evolves into water animals. So yan siya. Yun ang dahilan kung bakit tayo may land animal and water animals. Okay. Ma'am, paano nagkaroon naman ng air animals? Definitely through evolution na yun. Pero it was only explained in land animal and water. Sunod is the panspermia. Life began somewhere in the universe. So, when the planet was bombarded with meteors, dun sa meteor daw, meron na siyang life form doon. At doon nang galing yung life na nag-evolve nang dumating yung asteroid or meteor into our planet. So, that is the theory of pan. So, for the what's more, I want you to answer this one. Activity 6, reflection paper. You reflect on the following questions by applying what you learn from the topic and the 4 subsystems of the Earth. Sunod, what I have learned, summarizing the concepts. Given below the 4 subsystems of Earth, explain how each subsystem affect the flow of matter and energy on Earth? What I can do? You answer this one, think beyond the pages. You're going also to answer the assessment in order to assess what you have learned in the